Hello there, my name's Laura and I'm a librarian at the Hobsons Bay City Council Library Service. Today I'm going to show you how to make seed bombs. What is a seed bomb, you might ask, and that's a fair enough question. A seed bomb is a little ball of soil made up of compost and seeds and a little bit of flour and water just to hold it all together. A seed bomb acts as a little world in which a seed can grow out of, and what we do with them is throw them in parts of our neighbourhood that look a bit like a wasteland, look a bit like somewhere that it isn't growing much vegetation at the moment. There's not many plants on it. And we can throw our seed bombs on those areas and seeds will grow out of it using the compost that we've already put within our seed bombs. So what we need is some flour, you can see that, some flour, some compost, so I just got this from Bunnings, I just got a bag of it for about $3, some water, just regular old tap water, and some seeds. So I've got my equipment all out in front of me, I've sat down so I know what I'm doing, and first thing I'm going to do is get my compost, put it here, and then get my seeds, and I've just taken these out of there and pour them into my compost. So away I go, emptying. Now we can see that the seeds are inside my compost. And I'm going to grab a spoon, just any old regular spoon because we can give it a wash after, and stir it all in. And I want to stir it in as thoroughly as possible so my seeds are spread out throughout the compost. Next thing I do is, so I've poured some flour into another Tupperware container like this, and there's about, maybe I filled it a quarter full, and I grabbed some water, and I'm just going to put a little bit of water in, just like a slurp, just about that much. I'm going to take the same spoon and give it a stir, because what I want to do with this is create a kind of glue. So you might use clag or something like that at childcare or kinder, and that's kind of what I'm trying to recreate with this. So I'm going to add a little bit more water to see how I've made it just a little bit doughy but not particularly sloppy. I want it to be a little bit more sloppy. And this is the fun part. So I'm going to have a bit more fun with making it sloppy. Stirring it around. It's sloppy and icky and perfect for my seed bombs. So now I'm going to add my glue to my mix of seeds and compost. Alright, so I'm going to show you how to do it like this. There we go, just slop it all in there. Make sure it all goes in. There we go. Put that aside, and then we give everything a big stir. So I'm stirring my flour and water through my compost, making the whole thing into a sticky, dirty, composty, seedy mix. And depending on your quantities or your ratios of how much of everything you put in, you might want to add a little bit more water just to stick it all together. I'm looking at mine and I'm actually quite liking the consistency because it's quite hard to stir. See, I'm kind of using quite a lot of muscle to stir this through, and that's actually a good thing because I want my seed bombs to stick together, and I don't want them to be too wet because otherwise they'll take too long to dry. So I'm glad that they're not too wet, so I reckon that's about enough. So see, I've stirred them all through like that. So the next thing I'm going to do is get some newspaper. So I'm just using some scrap newspaper. You can use any kind of scrap paper, really. It doesn't have to be newspaper, it could be anything, just as long as you're not putting this on, your carer's nice tabletop. And I'm going to roll up my sleeve so I don't get my hands dirty. Now, you might also want to wear a smock or something like that. Now, this is an old jumper of mine, so I don't mind if it gets dirty, but you might want to make sure that you're wearing something that's a bit more grubby, so it's okay if you get some dirt on you too. So what I'm going to do next, and this is my favorite part, is I'm going to spoon out a little bit of this dirt mixture into my hand like that, and I'm going to roll it into a ball just like that. I'm going to place it down onto my newspaper. And I'm going to do this until all of the mixture is gone. So all right, and look at all that. So I'll just make sure you can see like this. So now I've made my seed bombs. I have to wait for 24 hours, that's a whole day and a night, to make sure that they are dry enough to stick together. And then once they're dry enough, I should be able to pick them up and be able to throw them, and they should be able to stay all together like that until they hit the ground. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. Okay, so it's 24 hours later, brand new day, and look at all of my seed bombs in that. Isn't that amazing? So I'm going to open it up. I'm going to show you one of them. There we go. Just a little ball. It's got the soil and everything stuck together with the flour, and they're nice and solid, and I can now go out into the world and throw them at whatever I want, but stick around for some handy hints on where to throw them and how to be safe. You can start with throwing these in your own backyard, or you can take a walk around the neighbourhood and see if there's any disused public space that doesn't have many plants on it. They're perfect for throwing and increasing and encouraging life to grow in disused spaces. Next to train tracks is also a really, really good place to throw them. Just make sure you're keeping a safe distance. I hope you've enjoyed making these seed bombs, and now all that's left to do is get out there and bomb these around the neighbourhood and watch our plants and our beautiful little flowers grow.